Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Normal Guy of the North here, and we've got ourselves a really good rematch today. This is, I might say it wrong, but I believe it's pronounced Sai Saki. We'll call it he or she Sai. Now normally you're not supposed to be able to sink 3 battleships in a row. You usually get 1 or 2 and then you're dead, but I think someone online that Sai said, hey, really? Hold my sake. This is going to be good. So today's match, we are actually sitting on a domination match with the Pharaoh Islands. And we have ourselves the Paolo Emilio, or the YOLO Emilio. This is the YOLO boat. If you don't know about it, I have it. It's a great boat. People say it's a one-stick pony, a one-trick pony. I disagree. If I'm being honest soon, I'll get to that in a bit later. She does have her one shtick, so to speak, but she does have other capabilities. So what are some good things about this boat? Well, you may not know this. It has the largest hit point pool among all Tier 9 destroyers. I actually didn't know that. Now, her guns, they're good main battery ballistics, high shell velocity, and flat arcs, and they're also 135 millimeters, and you can spec it out to as much as about 13.1 kilometers. Now, it does come with both SAP and HE, and we'll get more into that ability, but the semi-armor piercing HE. Right now, he's coming in the cap. He's the first one in the cap, so he's going to start changing it. The only thing he really has to worry about, because as you notice, there's no subs and there's no carriers. Yay! As everyone says in the chat. He's got to worry about a Tashkent, a Barfleur, I hope I say that right, and a Benson. Now, the Benson's a decent gunboat. The Barfleur is a decent gunboat. And the Tashkent, that's all it does is a gunboat. It's fantastic that way. So you got to ask yourself, which one is he going to get up with? And surprise, there's going to be a surprise ending at the end of this one, but one or the other. Now, that Barfleur is actually teamed up with a Jean Bart. You're going to see the Jean Bart battleship first before you see a destroyer, most likely. You want to find out if he's actually going to come here, if he's going to be in the sea cap with you and take it over. You also probably going to have a cruise over here. Well, there's our first Turpets, and there's our Jean Bart. So it's safe to say most likely the Barfleur is over here with you. I'm not aware, and guys, correct me in the comments if you want, but most of the time when I div up with people, we're right side by side. So I'm going to assume the Barfleur is here, which is not too bad. I'd rather be against the Barfleur than the Tashkent. Now, our Tashkent, you don't know it yet, is getting spotted on the left-hand side, the one they just told to actually kill. So now he's got 2 Turpets over here and a Jean Bart, and someone just came in the cap. Now, my first reaction would be it's probably the Barfleur, but you never know. We'll see how it goes. He's got his team maintenance cruiser. He's the new Tier 9 German cruiser, and you got another battleship pushing up with him. So we'll see how this goes. Either way, whoever it is behind the island, the battleship's going to spot him first, which is fantastic. Now, one thing about this, I'm not going to talk about the shtick just yet because we're not there. This boat has 10.7 seconds on a reload. On SAP, SAP does like 3,000 damage per shot. HE does less than 2,000. You leave it on SAP. They are deadly. I don't think it's all that bad. I wouldn't take on a Hataguma with it or a Kitakazi. Oh, we got a Takeo behind there. Arp Takeo. It's a cruiser. So no Barfleur. Isn't that interesting? Well, we'll talk more about that later. Now, right now, he knows exactly what the Utrecht is, and he wants to get the Utrecht. That's what he's going for. But this boat, I think if you leave an SAP, you can actually have a gunfight. Now, most people would say, well, hey, if you have a gunfight with a DD, HE, you're going to die pretty quick. But she's got a 60 millimeter thick armor belt. She will shatter most destroyer HE, I think just about all of it, and most destroyers AP, even up to about 135 millimeter guns. If you get some of the big Russian ones that are like 155 or the hull at 203, yeah, it's going through that. Don't worry about it. That's a bad fight. Don't do that. Don't do that at all. But her shtick is right now. She's got a speed boost going. I personally have mine upgraded. You can do that. I'll talk more about that a bit later. Now this gets you well over 50 knots, and it's got a high-speed smoke generator. He's going to pop it. I think, in my opinion, this is the only mistake he made. If you put relocator on this boat, you'll know exactly what the Utrecht is, and you won't get spotted. What you want to do is you want to make sure you're broadside of that boat before you get mutual detection. That's why I take a relocator with this boat all the time. But hey, other than that, I think he did well. He's going to get damage here like anyone else does, but this is the main trick of this boat, is that you actually can do this in YOLO. Normally, most people just die here, but he waits, and he does it perfectly. And the guy's dead. Now, the other thing is, the other mistake he made, with the whole thing's a mistake, is that he hit his repair too soon, and the Utrecht got an actual last shot on him instead of on fire. Now, he's going to spin here and burn for the next 15 seconds. Now, he does have to make sure the fire's out, or the Iowa will spot him. You do bloom, I think it's 20% when you're on fire, and that will, he's only got detectability, base detectability right now at 7.1, so he has all the modules I would talk to you about. So what are some of the modules? First of all, Engine Boost Mod 1 is something I take, it's an upgrade. That's the second slot at plus 30. That plus 30% on the actual time consumable, which is fantastic for the speedboat of this. And I also take Improve Your Torpedo with Torpedo Tubes Mod 1 in the third slot and Propulsion Mod in the fourth slot. Then go for Concealment and then Gunfire Control. Once you have Gunfire Control, everything's good. Now, what are some things you want to do about flags and captain skills? Well, for me, I take Extra Pappa. That actually gives you more time on your smoke generator. It makes it last longer. Now, for captain skills, this is the typical build I have. Grease the gears, and I'll put this down in the description for you. Grease the gears, Consumables Specialist, Consumable Enhancement, get your consumables up quicker, get the burner going, make them last longer. These are all worthwhile for the Paolo Emilio. I take Preventive Maintenance and, of course, Last Stand because you are a DD and you are in close and you are going to get damaged like you just saw with him getting shot up. I do take Survivability Expert and Adrenaline Rush. Survivability Expert gives you an extra 3,150 HP, which takes your HP from, over 20,400 and it adds an extra 3,000 to it, which does help you don't have a heal. Concealment, you need that because you're going to get spotted by the moon. And I take Relocator so I can see where the enemy ship is. Now, overall, how do you get this boat? It's 43,000 Research Bureau points in the Research Bureau. This was the first Research Bureau ship I actually got, and I love it. Now, she's got some really crappy things. She has weak and short in AA. She sucks for that. It just is what it is. And she turns, and her rudder is very sluggish. Now, at this point, Sai has been, sorry, I almost forgot the person's name. Sai has actually been looking back at these 3 battleships. And I'm thinking, okay, what's he going to do? Well, he wants to go for the gusto. He's got plenty of time. He needs to get his modules up and back up, but he's going to stay close. He gets spotted up with the Turpets here for a quick second. Now, if you were these 3 battleship players, I have the Turpets, I have the Jean Bart, you would think, and I'm not being cruel here, hey boys, you just saw Paolo Emilio coming your way. What are you going to do? Just sit there? Well, apparently that seems to be the game plan, which I thought was kind of ironically funny. I would not have done that. But here we go. Now he's spotted. He's thinking, boom. And just slide in. There's the first set off. I think this next one kind of surprised him a little bit because I'm not saying I wasn't paying attention, but it's kind of funny. Because out of the blue, on his left-hand side, I think he's getting ready to fire another shot, and all of a sudden, doink, you're going to see the enemy show up right here. I'm not sure if he quite knew he was there, so to speak, but it's fun. And there's the other guy. He's like, wait, what? Yeah. That's not the funny one. That's the funny one. That Turpets try to turn in. I don't blame him, but it wasn't a good plan to begin with. Normally, you wouldn't survive this, to be honest with you, because you're mutually attacked. They should take you out. But it didn't really do a good job, in my opinion. Now, this one is textbook. Because the extra modules, I can tell you that he's taking them right now. It's doing him well. It's doing him very well. Because now he's going to sit here and get close. The Turpets, just, I don't get it. You just fired at the other ship. You know he's here. You're going to go down. And that's basically about it. There's his 4th and final kill, right? Nope. Remember the Barfleur? Yeah. Still confused about this destroyer. I had this destroyer. It's tier 10. It's a good boat. Where were you the whole game, dude? Like, he just didn't show up, didn't come around. I don't know what he was doing. He should have taken this. He should have taken that cap. He should have did more. Battleships should not be taking the cap, in my opinion. But I think Sai Saki did a great job here in this game, in my opinion. And it's about to be game over. But hey, thanks for watching. I do really appreciate it. If you found this helpful, feel free to check out the other videos on your screen for more World of Warships content. And as always, take care, stay safe, and I wish you all the best. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.